Every morning in a quiet park in Osaka, I used to watch elderly Japanese men and women walking slowly, their backs straight, their faces calm and full of life. It amazed me. They weren't rushing, yet every step seemed strong and balanced. Years later, I learned that their secret wasn't in expensive medicine or gym memberships, but in a few simple leg exercises they practiced every day. Research from Japan's National Institute for Longevity Sciences shows that consistent, low-impact movement can improve circulation, strengthen leg muscles, and even slow down the aging process of the joints. That discovery changed how I saw aging. Because if they could stay strong after 70, why couldn't we? Before we begin, I'd love to know, where are you watching this from, and what time is it for you right now? Please let me know in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe. My turning point. I still remember the morning I realized I could no longer stand in the kitchen for more than 10 minutes. My knees ached, my calves trembled, and I felt old. I had always been active, but after 65, everything started to change. Climbing stairs became a struggle. Even short walks left me breathless. I told myself it was just aging, but deep inside, I missed feeling alive. One day, while watching a Japanese television show, I saw an elderly woman. She must have been in her late 70s, doing gentle leg movements at home. No fancy equipment, no gym, just her and a chair. Her eyes sparkled. Something about her calm determination touched me. That night, I searched for more about Japanese daily exercises and found these 3 leg routines. They looked almost too simple. Heel raises, seated leg lifts, and ankle circles. I laughed at first. How could something so easy help someone like me? But I decided to try anyway. The first few days were humbling. My balance was poor, my legs heavy. Yet, with every small movement, I felt a quiet sense of control returning. 2 weeks later, I noticed something extraordinary. I could stand longer, and the dull ache in my knees had softened. That's when I knew. This wasn't just about exercise. It was about reclaiming my freedom, one gentle movement at a time. And now, I'd like to share with you these 3 simple Japanese leg exercises that changed my life. Heel raises. The first step back to strength, the first exercise I started with was the simplest one. Heel raises. It might look like nothing, but it became the foundation for everything that followed. I remember standing behind my kitchen chair, holding on gently for balance and lifting my heels just a few inches off the floor. The first few times, my legs trembled like leaves. I could barely do 5 before I had to sit down. But I promised myself just a little every day. Heel raises strengthen the calf muscles, those small but powerful muscles that help pump blood back toward the heart. When we get older, our circulation slows down, and that's why our feet and legs often feel cold, heavy, or swollen. By lifting the heels repeatedly, we're quietly helping the heart do its work. In Japan, researchers from the Tokyo Metropolitan Institute of Gerontology found that daily heel raises improved blood flow and reduced swelling in older adults within only 4 weeks. I didn't know the science back then. All I knew was that it made my legs feel alive again. I started with 10 slow lifts every morning, holding onto that kitchen chair. I'd inhale as I rose up on my toes, exhale as I came down. Slowly, my balance improved. The shaking stopped. My confidence grew. After 2 weeks, I began doing them while brushing my teeth or waiting for my tea to steep. It became a quiet ritual, a small promise to my body that I wouldn't give up on it. Each rise felt like a little act of hope. There was one morning when I realized something had changed. I stood at the stove cooking breakfast and noticed I hadn't reached for the chair once. My calves felt steady, my knees light. It wasn't a miracle. It was progress. Real, gentle progress that came from patience, not force. Heel raises may look simple, but for those of us over 60, they are a lifeline. They wake up the muscles that keep us walking, climbing, and standing tall. They remind us that strength doesn't always come from lifting heavy weights. Sometimes it comes from lifting ourselves, one small step at a time. Seated leg lifts. Strength in stillness. A few weeks of doing heel raises, I felt steadier, but my knees still complained whenever I stood too long. That's when I discovered the second exercise, seated leg lifts. To my surprise, it became one of my favorites. It's gentle, quiet, and something you can do while watching TV or reading the newspaper. No sweat, no strain, just a calm rhythm that slowly brings strength back where it's needed most. I would sit in my favorite chair, feet flat on the floor, and straighten one leg until it was parallel to the ground. I'd hold it there for a few seconds, feeling the muscles along my thigh tighten, then slowly lower it down. Then I'd switch to the other leg. At first, even lifting my leg halfway made my thigh tremble. But little by little, it grew easier. Seated leg lifts strengthen the quadriceps, the large muscles in the front of your thighs that help support your knees. As we age, these muscles weaken, and that's one of the main reasons older adults lose stability or have trouble getting up from chairs. But the beautiful thing is, these muscles respond quickly to even the smallest effort. A study from Osaka University showed that seniors who practiced seated leg lifts for just 10 minutes a day improved knee strength by nearly 30% in 1 month. I didn't know those numbers at the time. All I knew was that after a couple of weeks, my knees no longer ached as much when I stood up. I could get out of my recliner without that small groan that had become so familiar. It wasn't dramatic, but it was noticeable. And that's the kind of progress that matters. This exercise also taught me patience. When you're sitting there, holding your legs steady, breathing slowly, you begin to notice your body in a new way. You feel each muscle working, not in pain, but in quiet cooperation. For me, it became almost meditative. I'd sit near the window in the afternoon sun, lifting one leg, then the other, watching the world go by outside. It gave me peace, a small daily moment that belonged entirely to me. I began adding little challenges, holding each lift for 5 seconds, then 8, then 10. I didn't rush. I listened to my body. On good days, I did more. On tired days, I did less. But I always did something. And that consistency made all the difference. One evening, my granddaughter came to visit. She asked if I needed help getting up from my chair. I smiled, stood up smoothly, and said, "Not this time." The look on her face, that tiny mix of surprise and pride, was worth every minute I'd spent practicing. Seated leg lifts may not look exciting, but they give us something priceless: independence, the freedom to rise, to move, to live without always needing a hand to pull us up. So whenever you sit down today, remember, you're not resting, you're preparing, and with each quiet lift, you're teaching your body to stand strong again. Ankle circles, the gentle flow of life. The third exercise is the simplest of all, yet it holds something truly powerful: ankle circles. You can do them anywhere, anytime. Sitting in bed, watching the morning news, or even while waiting for your coffee to brew. To anyone watching, it might look like you're doing nothing, but inside your body, something important is happening. When I first began, I would sit comfortably on a chair or lie back on the couch and slowly move one foot in a circle, 5 times clockwise, 5 times counterclockwise. Then I'd switch to the other foot. The movement was slow, almost like drawing soft circles in the air. Some mornings, my ankles were stiff, almost unwilling to move, but as I kept going, the tension began to melt away. You see, our ankles are like small pumps. Every time we flex or rotate them, we help push blood and lymph back up the legs toward the heart. As we age, especially if we sit or lie down for long periods, that flow weakens. That's why many older adults experience swelling around the ankles or feel that heavy, dragging sensation in their legs. Japanese doctors often recommend this simple exercise to improve circulation and reduce the risk of blood clots. In fact, a study from Kyoto Prefectural University of Medicine found that seniors who practiced ankle circles daily had better ankle flexibility and significantly fewer issues with swelling after just 3 weeks. It's no wonder many Japanese elders perform these circles before bed. They call it the mini circulation ritual. For me, it became a quiet evening habit. Before going to sleep, I'd sit on the edge of my bed, rotate my ankles slowly, and feel the warmth spreading through my legs. It was relaxing, almost like telling my body, "You did well today, rest now." Sometimes I'd close my eyes and imagine my blood flowing smoothly, carrying new life to every part of me. One night, after a few weeks of doing this, I woke up realizing my feet no longer felt cold. That constant stiffness I used to dread in the mornings had faded. My legs felt lighter, softer, as if they had remembered how to move with grace again. It's such a simple thing, turning your ankles in gentle circles, but it reawakens the body in ways you can truly feel. What I love most about ankle circles is that they remind us healing doesn't have to hurt. There's beauty in slow movement, in small acts of care that add up quietly over time. You don't need to break a sweat or push through pain. You just need to move, kindly, consistently, with gratitude. The philosophy of Ikigai, moving with purpose. In Japan, there's a word that has always stayed with me, Ikigai. It means a reason for being, or simply a reason to wake up in the morning. When I first heard it, I didn't quite understand, but over time, as I began to move my body again, one heel raise, one leg lift, one ankle circle at a time, I started to feel what it truly meant. You see, when we lose our strength, it's not just our muscles that weaken, it's our sense of purpose. We start saying things like, "I can't do that anymore," or "That time has passed for me." I used to think that way too. My world became smaller. Fewer walks, fewer visits, fewer reasons to get up early. But when I began doing these little exercises, I noticed something unexpected. They didn't just wake up my body, they woke up my spirit. Each morning, I'd open the window, feel the air on my face and think, "This is my moment." My small movement became a conversation with life itself, a way of saying, "I'm still here and I still have purpose." That's Ikigai in motion. In Okinawa, where people are known to live some of the longest, healthiest lives in the world, elders talk about Ikigai all the time. It's rarely about big goals. For some, it's tending to their garden. For others, it's walking to the market to see friends or cooking for family. The body moves because the heart has a reason to. Science even agrees with this ancient idea. Studies published in the Journal of Behavioral Medicine found that older adults who reported having a strong sense of purpose lived longer and had better mobility. Purpose keeps the brain active, the hormones balanced, and the heart steady. It turns out that meaning itself is medicine. For me, my Ikigai became simple, I wanted to be able to walk hand in hand with my granddaughter without fear of falling. I wanted to make my own tea, stand at the stove, and watch the morning light pour into my kitchen. Those moments, small as they were, gave me something to move toward. When you move with purpose, even the smallest exercise becomes sacred. Heel raises are no longer just for the legs. They are for the walks you'll take again. Seated leg lifts are for the independence you're rebuilding. Ankle circles are for the comfort you'll feel lying in bed without pain. Every movement becomes a quiet promise to yourself. I'm doing this for my reason. There were mornings I didn't feel like doing anything at all. Days when my knees hurt, or when the weather made my body ache. But I'd remind myself, Ikigai isn't about perfection. It's about consistency. Even on slow days, moving just a little meant I was keeping my promise to myself. And over time, those small promises built a kind of peace I hadn't felt in years. Important safety notes. Listening to the body's wisdom. Before we go further, I want to share something I wish someone had told me earlier, that how you move matters just as much as what you do. When we're over 60, our bodies speak to us differently. The whispers of pain, stiffness, or fatigue are not signs of failure. They're messages, gentle reminders to slow down, adjust, and listen. When I first began these exercises, I made a mistake many of us make. I thought, if a little is good, then more must be better. I tried to push myself. More heel raises, longer leg lifts, faster ankle circles. But my body didn't thank me for it. One morning, my knees were swollen, and I had to rest for several days. That's when I learned an important truth. Progress isn't built on pushing. It's built on patience. Start small. Always. Even if you can only do 3 or 4 repetitions, that's enough. The goal isn't to exhaust yourself. It's to create a rhythm, something you can return to every day without pain or fear. Over time, those small movements add up, and before you know it, they become part of your life. If you use a chair for balance, make sure it's sturdy and doesn't slide. Keep your feet flat before you start, and take a deep breath. Move slowly, deliberately, with focus. These movements should feel smooth and controlled, not rushed or shaky. If you feel sharp pain or dizziness, stop immediately and rest. Pain is not a sign of progress. It's your body asking for care. I also learned that timing matters. Try not to exercise right after a meal. And if you feel tired, give yourself permission to rest first. Morning is wonderful for awakening your body. Evening is lovely for calming it down. Find what time of day feels best for you. That's when your body will respond the most. And most importantly, always talk to your doctor before beginning any new exercise, especially if you have joint problems, heart conditions, or issues with balance. I spoke with my physician before starting, and he helped me understand what was safe for my knees and heart. That simple conversation gave me confidence to move without worry. Another lesson I learned. Some days you'll feel strong and ready. Other days you'll feel stiff or tired. Don't let that discourage you. Even doing one small set on your hardest day keeps your promise to yourself alive. It's not about doing it perfectly, it's about showing up, kindly and consistently. So here we are, 3 simple Japanese leg exercises that helped me regain not just my strength, but my freedom. Heel raises, seated leg lifts, and ankle circles. They may look small, but when done with consistency and care, they can change how you move and how you live. If there's one thing I've learned, it's that movement is a form of gratitude. Every step, every lift, every circle is a way of saying thank you to your body for carrying you through the years. It's never too late to begin again. Whether you're 60, 70, or beyond, your body still has the power to heal, to grow, and to move with grace. So start today. Move slowly, breathe deeply, and remember, each gentle motion is a promise to yourself. You are still here, and you are still becoming. Health information shared here may not apply to everyone and is not medical advice. Always consult your doctor before starting any new exercise routine. Thank you for spending this time with me. I hope these exercises bring you the same peace and strength they've brought into my life. Keep moving. Your best days are still ahead.